I have been in the industry for 30 years now and 7 years as a consultant. I'm just literally thankful. I want to thank everybody that has been supporting me, and in particular, all of the clients that I've been working with, seeing them grow as a leader, as a business, reducing their costs, and really focusing on what matters with them. So it's been an incredible journey, and it's such a pleasure to be part of an incredible industry. Throughout my time in the industry, I've created a formula for salon success that I like to call the Delforge 5. Looking at all the key elements of your business that I know will make a difference, we are focusing on the leadership, the budget, the marketing strategy, the retail, and reception. Today, I'm going to give you one of crucial tip with each of those categories that every salon owner must be doing right now and be on top of it at this present moment in order to get the best financial outcomes at the end of these very challenging times. So make sure you've downloaded and printed the worksheet, and let's get started. So number one, let's start off with reception. Why is it relevant to you now? Well, at the moment, finances are strained and every single minute counts. So time is money. So the tips is all about the gaps in the diary. It really is focusing on that diary management. Every 5 minutes that are unnecessary in your diary actually counts. All these 5 minutes in between treatments that we find. So not only you've got the PPE, perhaps 10, 15 minutes, but it's those 5 minute gaps that we haven't managed to move the client from one another. Now that can affect your bottom line literally by whooping 5 to 7 thousand pounds a year if you are not careful. On top of that, if you add the no-show, if you've got a massive issues with no-show within your business and you start adding them up, you're looking that you could be losing about 30,000 pounds a year in your business. Now it's your turn. On the worksheet, you've got the formula on how to work everything out. You've got the revenue and what you could potentially be losing with the gaps in between the treatments, on top of everything to do with the no-shows. So pause the video, work it out, and then add the numbers together. So you've got that number and you know how important it is for you. Now, unless you're doing a great job out of this, I'm sure the number in front of you is a little bit scary, and if not, very scary. It's time that you realize that you are losing money right now by poor diary management. How are we going to fix it? What are we going to do? Well, we're going to make sure the reception team is running a really strict diary management and a tight sheet. So you've got to make sure that you train them on that. No gaps when booking and calling clients a week in advance at least to make sure that the client comes in before or after, 5 minutes before, 10 minutes after. You know, when you're calling a doctor that tells you 10 past 10 or 20 past 2. They don't give you morning or afternoon and leaving it loose. It's down to you. You are in charge of the diary. For the no-shows, you've got to start being strict. Why not looking at deposits on every single treatment if you've got a massive issue with no-show? Why not making sure that you have the reception team trained on what I call the green light and the red light approach? You'll find it on the spreadsheet explaining that you don't need to stress about all of this no-show and the difficult clients that you might have, in particular in this difficult climate when they give you all kind of excuses as to why they're not turning up. So you're going to find the details, make sure you're on top of things, but make sure your receptionists are very, very well trained, because this is where they are losing the money. So why not making this exercise with them so they understand those 5 minutes gap, how much they're costing you, all of the no-shows that are perhaps not even recorded it's important that we start all of this focus right now, because your diary is your bread and butter. So the number 2 is leadership. Leadership is everything. How are we going to empower our team? In particular, it's been such a hard year to keep the team motivated, to keep them connected with you and everyone else around them. It's been a tough one. Making sure that they really fulfill their role, but on top of that, are kind of engaged, because some of them are furloughed, part furloughed, flexi furloughed. So how can we find time to make sure that we keep focused? Now, there's a very simple step that you can do right now, and it's own the day. That's what I call it, own the day. Now, some of you have very big teams, so you might not be able to be together. Maybe do a WhatsApp video with every single one that's not there. If you've got early shift and late shift, same. Maybe do a WhatsApp video every single morning. And it's about seizing the day, seizing the opportunities and finding the opportunities together that are booked in a diary. So who have you got booked today? Who's your best client of the day? Tell me, you've got free appointments available. Who is fully booked? How can we make sure that she's going to be booked by the end of the day? Finding it together, get that togetherness. Every now and then, get a little pain au chocolat, a croissant, call me French. It doesn't matter, but get them to think together, because otherwise you will find that everyone comes in, gets into a routine. But I want to know if that client is a new client, so I can definitely introduce her to all of the loyalty program that we have. I want to know if this amazing client's been with us for a long time, and last time she's purchased a product, and we need to check up on her, how she's getting on with it. Discuss it, call it. 5 minutes a day, that's all that matters. On your worksheet, you have a list of all the types of questions that you should be thinking about in order to get the most of your day and get the best out of your team. It's about finding the opportunity, but most of all, creating a habit into making your team mindset and focus a priority. Now, on to number 3, and that is marketing. We need to be getting clients back into the salon, but marketing budgets are very low. So what can we do in order to reconnect with our client database, and something that's completely free? Phone calls. We've had absolute phenomenal success since the reopening, by reconnecting with the most personalized form of marketing, and it's allowing you to connect with your database, making sure that you understand where they are, and just getting them to be aware, because maybe they're a little bit confused with everything that goes on. Are you open? Are you not? Maybe you're too busy. So it's been the most simplest form of marketing that has been the most effective. So what have we done? We've given you a script for all different scenarios out there. When you're calling, make the most of it, because even if you give yourself a target, okay, every day we're going to call 30 clients, only 20% of those are booking. That's 6 clients that you might not have had. And you multiply that by the 6 days opening. Next thing you know, you've got a nice bookings ahead. A lot of your clients are not even aware that maybe you are so busy. Maybe they've created their own habit. So by reconnecting with a simple phone call, you will find that you get the love back from your clients. And joy, it's very easy to do. We've had a really tough year financially this year, and we've seen a lot of losses that are completely out of our control. However, there is one that can be on your control, and you can definitely do something about it. And this needs to happen right now. I'm talking about stock loss and stock control. Overspending on stock when you haven't got a meticulous process that is really, really defined in fine-tooth comb will find that you actually can have a huge damage to your bottom line. So on your worksheet, you will see two formulas to work out. The number one is how much you're spending on stock, and understanding that your stock control has got to be onto the levels that I'm giving you today. The number two percentage that I want you to work out is your stock loss. And if you don't know your stock loss, that means somewhere along the line, you have no control of your stock enough to make it coherent. The stock loss should be under 2%. And in my career, it's very, very rare that I walk into a salon that has fully, absolutely everything under control. So how are we going to fix it? Well, don't worry, this can be very, very easily fixed. It's all about very strict and detailed procedures that everyone in the salon must be trained in. It's about you stopping overspending and being too emotional when you are spending. In particular, Christmas is coming, so oh, this and that gift, etc. You can do it yourself. There's a lot of things you can create yourself that is going to make a difference. But the most important is to make sure that that security, that stock loss, so all of the products that are a little bit on the walkabout, that stock usage is really controlled. Last but not least, obviously, one of my biggest obsession, which is retail. Retail offers you an unmissable opportunity to increase revenue at a time where every penny and every customer you have coming in is so important to you. You must be capitalizing on every single opportunity. Now, imagine if every single client that was coming were spending an additional £20 on retail as they leave. I mean, between now and Christmas, you could be looking at about £6,000 per column per therapist or per hairdresser. That's incredible revenue that you can be generating. Now, it's so difficult at the moment with keeping everything COVID friendly. But the key step to the customer journey is understanding that the consultation is the heart of the retail sales. Asking the right question before or during the treatment in order to add value for your clients and make the right recommendation for them is the key to really strong retail. You are the expert and they're with you, whether they're having their hair done or facial or waxing or lashes, because they trust you, because they love you, and because they see you as the expert. The results of the treatment that you're giving them is literally the reason why they're coming through the door. The retail is the icing on the cake, is that feel-good factor. By asking the right questions, you will find that your consultation will be much stronger and much more dedicated to your client. Now, on the worksheet, you will find a list of all the open-ended questions that your team can be asking. But there's plenty more, so make sure you keep adding to the list and making them relevant to the treatments. You will find the right question to your clients, will be much more inclined to purchase, and at the end of the treatment, feel absolutely amazing. And a good retail sales is when the client leaves the salon or the clinic or the spa feeling like $1 million, having that little purchase with them and just feeling, wow, I want to go back. So I hope that you've enjoyed the 5 tips that I've given you today. Get going right now. There's no time like the present. It's all about being active, proactive, but also very focused on the end results. Those 5 tips will help you increasing the revenue and reduce your costs, and I know will make a difference to you. Please give us some feedback and obviously reach out for any questions you might have.